What up, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals writing the smoothest city in the world. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today, on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we're going to let my phone go crazy, but other than that, we're talking about why can't people just sit back and enjoy the stories from movies, from shows, from video games. Why you just can't sit back and enjoy the story? Like, why can't you do that? All up next on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze after this intro and breaks. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, like I said before, we're getting into why can't people sit back and enjoy these stories. But before then, once again, we're about to go ahead and do a episode recap. But even before that, I got a message, though. I got a message from TMMG, fashion, the TMMG store. I think it's TMMG store.com. Check them out. Yo, right here, though, I think I'm about to sit there and start wearing all y'all fashions and Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So what's up, man? I want to be a brand ambassador, man. So what's up? What's going on? Let me know. I'm gonna make sure I'll definitely put something right here. Be like, yo, TMNG, what's up? So if you see this message, go ahead and DM me and whatsoever. But I will start putting ads up on the ads with some stuff for TMNG. I already recorded something. I mean, I'm not a model, but we do our best. But if you do want to actually go ahead and grab this daishiki shirt made of the crest of the Haitian flag, and this is a black color, you can get it in many colors. You can go ahead and check out the link down on the bottom. It's going to be over there. It's going to be in the link. I don't know if I could put it like up here on the flow of things, but that's going to be on in another time. But if you do want this, it's very stylish, it's very breathable, and I love it. And like I said before, most likely this is going to be a staple of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So y'all going to see this all the time on Deep Talk. So let's go ahead and take this off. So anyways, let's get straight into the episode recap of the day. So last week we was getting into and before we continue on that one, I do like to apologize for the video quality of last week. I went in, I was enjoying myself doing the videos, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, whoa, and then I noticed, and like, it's not as bad right now. And when I was recording, when I was editing it, I noticed how terrible the quality was, and I was like, man, that sucked. But I wanted to keep on going, and of it. So it is what it is. And also, I do want to actually slowly start to change up more of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, but we will see. But back to the discussion at hand, though. But anyways, What it was, we was talking about last week episode, and last week episode, it was about shooting for the moon. Because the thing is about our dreams and about our aspirations, about our goals. A lot of us, we tend to think small. And what you have to do, you have to sit there and think big. So you have to go ahead and shoot for the moon. So you have to shoot for the moon. Shoot for the moon. Now, if you shoot for the moon and if you still miss, don't worry though, man. Don't fret. Don't worry about it, man. Because if you do miss, you still lands amongst the stars. You still be out in the grand scheme of the universe and whatsoever. And you'll sit there and you're going to love it and you're going to enjoy it. And, it is what it is. So don't worry if you missed your goal, missed your dreams, if you missed the mark, not to worry. Because if you sit there and still made the attempt for the shot, you still lands amongst the stars. And the thing is, to order for you to do that, we got to dream big. You got to dream big. Dream as big as you possibly can. Whatever. I mean, your dream has to be so big that it intimidates you. I got to get towards that level again because, especially when I was younger, my dreams used to be so humongous. It was the size of the universe pretty much. So what I'm saying is you got to dream big because once you're shooting for the stars, you have to dream big so you can have, a target that you can see that's far away that you can go and try to shoot. Now, like I said before, if you miss, oh well, I mean, at least you landed somewhere real great. And that's the thing if when that happens, because why must we sit there and dream these giant elaborate dreams that's out there, but then there's a chance for us to fail? Like, why should we put all our energy, our time, our effort to sit there and go dream these elaborate dreams just for us to fail? Well, let me tell you this. Well, it helps you out a lot. It helps you out to motivate you to go towards that dream. Because let's be real. If you sit there and think about something like you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to sit there and be like, yeah, I should do that. And you're going to sit there. And you're going to sit there. Then you're going to sit there and look at the time and be like, oh, that's the time. And then you go sit there again. And that's what it comes down to. It is what it is. It is what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't sit there and dream big and go for it, it's going to be like that. 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 And when I say this, it's not like I'm saying this because, I'm saying this because it's like a trending topic or, I seen somebody else done it or whatsoever. Because I sat there and I went out and I reached for a dream that I thought was like, damn near impossible and whatsoever. And one of the great examples is, not particularly Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, but Deep Talk with Sony Blaze in particular. And also I did kind of miss the shot, but I'm still here. Is to go out, make YouTube videos and make content, because I do content as well on Twitch as well too. So go ahead, check me out. I'm gonna put a link down in the bottom. Check me out on Twitch. But anyways, I did reach for a dream, and that is to become a YouTuber, make earnings on YouTube or content creation in general, and then be able to have fun, do what I need to do while I'm in my boxers. And also, like I said last week, don't worry. We got pants. We got pants. We have pantaloons. So not to worry. We have the pantaloons. And anyways, to continue on, because we're kind of short. And just let's really think about the quote real quick. When you sat there and you go out and you shoot for the moon, mainly what that tells you, you're shooting for a impossible target. That's what it pretty much tells you. You're shooting for a possible target. And even though you missed that target, guess what? You still landed in the vast of the universe, or in a sense, even though you missed your goals, you still in the level to achieve something even greater or the same of that goal that you're trying to achieve. So not to worry about that. Not to worry about that. So let's go ahead and continue on, and with this show. And I almost forgot what I was about to say. And also, and the thing is too, there's going to be people who's going to dismiss your dreams, who's going to dismiss your achievements, dismiss your goals, dismiss your work. Don't worry about them. Fuck them. Because they got other problems and issues they worry about, and they're using their negative energy to fuck up somebody else. So don't even worry about them. And when you're on this process of shooting for your dreams and going for your big dreams and whatsoever, start with the simple things. So if your dream is to simply just go ahead and meet your star, your favorite star, start as simple as sitting there and just following their social media and commenting them every day, or something like that. Just do that. Just comment them every day or message them every day. Just something simple. Just like that. It don't have to be some grand scheme. It don't have to be something that you're going to meet them at Madison Square Garden and meet them at a candlelit event or something. No, just as long as you sit there do the simple things, you get towards your dream. And once you're in that process, take your time. Take your time. This is not a race, it's a marathon, okay? You're here for the long haul. So you go for your time, your timing. Anyways, that's about it for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze for this segment. Anyways, if you're just joining me for the first time, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Just get that like button. I know y'all ladies like that. Hit that like button. Also, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I deeply appreciate it. And also, once again, I do apologize for last week's episode. It was some horrendous, but it actually kind of makes sense because when you think about it, I shot for the moon and missed the mark so well. But anyways, we'll be right back after these breaks on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Shop at TMMG, the premier Haitian fashion store for all Haitians by Haitians. What up, man? Sony Blaze here. I'd say, man, TMMG, you doing a great job. Make sure y'all go ahead and support them. Support them. Get yourself a dashiki shirt or whatever type of fashion sense that you want in there. Anyway, just tell them Sony Blaze sent you. Peace. What up, Sony Blaze here. Welcome to my corner of the universe. Just to let you know, I do other content in the internet, not just content in Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, but also I do broadcast live on Twitch every day for pretty much a good amount of time. So go ahead and join me on twitch.tv/SonyBlaze333. Once again, it's twitch.tv/SonyBlaze333. And it's going to be up in the link's going to be in the description, and the link's going to be somewhere here. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the vlogcast, the video cast. But anyways, we're back to it. So I have to say, I love the format that I'm taking this podcast. First of all, I will give flowers and and credit where credit due, because a lot of this stuff then I gained from when I was in the mainradio.com with the main radio with Rick Tony, with Nate Brown, Jalen, and all those guys. And I learned a lot, and it helped me towards putting. Let me make sure I'm in the middle, and it helped me towards putting this show together and help me make better templates and whatsoever. And I have to say, I appreciate the experience in that game. I want to be at this point that I am, today, and eventually soon we're gonna have an official stage. We're working on that. We are working at that as we speak. So, anyways, let's get to it. So, I wanted to sit there and talk about this stuff. I mean, me, especially as of these past few years, I haven't been really interested in shows, movies, animes, particularly video game stories and whatsoever. And I used to be a big proponent of stories and and animation and just in general stuff when it comes to movies and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, especially when it comes to the internet, the advent of the internet. Now, the internet was great for the industry as a whole and whatsoever. But man, it just brought out like a amount of people that. I mean, let me just ask you this: why can't people just sit back and enjoy the stories? Like, honestly, why people can't just sit back and just watch the movies? And sometimes, I mean, like, people, like, I could, like, especially now at this day and age, as of this moment of 2025, there are people who sit there and just analyze, digest, and just really just dissect and just pull the stories apart and just go in it. And you just sit there and you be like, you watch them, you looking at them, and you're like, bruh, man, calm down. Let's enjoy the story first. Let's just enjoy the story. I understand now. I understand, like, that's maybe your personality, and that's how you really go in and digest stories and stuff like that, to really just go dive deep in whatsoever. And to be honest, there is a time and a place for that. But as for now, especially when we're watching the video, or at least discussing, just the simple discussion, let's just sit back and just enjoy it. No words and no nothing. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. Just sit back and enjoy the story. Why can't you just sit back and just watch it? Why must you sit there and pick at every little thing about it? Oh, man, this sucks. Oh, man, the lighting is terrible. Holy shit, the frames is bad. Man, why this video quality is just watch the video. Just watch the movie. Just watch the show. Just play the video game. Just play it, man. Just play it. Don't worry about the all of a sudden there's a fucking, 20-foot Bigfoot jumping down on a racing game. What I'm saying is, if it's there, it's there. I mean, for now, just enjoy what it is. So a nice little surprise that makes you laugh, or that makes you just, just surprised in general, or scared, or just to think, and for you to enjoy the experience itself. Because when it comes down to it, when you experiencing this story, when you experiencing a game, when you experiencing a movie or show, you experiencing it as like at least some of them as a art, even porn. Yeah, as a art, like mainly as an art form, and as an art form, you enjoy it. You enjoy it. You enjoy it. Now, the thing is, now I can sit there and talk about this, until I'm blue, and most likely I'm going to do that right now. But when it comes down to it, it all depends on you, and it's just my opinion. It's my opinion versus yours. Nothing more, nothing less. And there's nothing to it. And there's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. So, anyways, hold on real quick. I gotta get me some water. Oh. Yeah, I get to see my chair. Oh, my toe. The H2O. Yes. My mouth was a little perched off of that. And like I said, with stuff like this, makes the video even more real, more wholesome. Not gonna cut this out, and well, there's some it just limits the stuff I'm gonna cut out, but let's continue on what we're just getting into. So, and the thing about it though, why must we analyze this story and not just be surprised anyways? Like, why must we sit there and really try to pay attention to the colors that's going on, the timing of the sound, the timing of the frames? Like, why must we sit there and take apart every minute details when it comes to the story and just sit there and watch it and just be surprised? Now, the thing is, I tend to do that from time to time, because when I'm sitting there talking about this and complaining about this, I'm not just talking about y'all. I'm not just sitting there having a rant about y'all and whatsoever. And I'm also talking to myself and whatsoever, because I tend to do that a lot myself. When it comes down to it, I tend to sit there and just be like, why is this that there? Why is that happening? What's going on with this, that, and that, and the third? And we all tend to do that, and we're just human beings and whatsoever. But when it comes down to it, especially when it comes to stories, we should sit back, relax, and allow it just to surprise us. Just allow us to the story surprise us in a very great and wholesome way. And with that saying, let's go ahead and stop complaining about elements of the story and watch it as a whole. You know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of us who actually tends to do that. We sit there, we watch this, and I seen it a lot. Like, for instance, I play 7 Days to Die, and I play this on Twitch. Once again, like I said, if you do want to actually join my Twitch, I'm gonna start putting the link down in the bottom, and you can go ahead and join me on Twitch. I'm gonna start doing that. I need to make sure I put that down there. So, anyways, while I play 7 Days to Die, and I noticed a lot of things like some of the zombies that's on there, or beasts that's on there, the creatures that's on there. It's not just zombies. It's like there's this like abominable snowman and this mummy and whatsoever. Now, I do understand where people are going at, because it doesn't really fit the theme of a zombie apocalypse and whatsoever. But then we do have dire wolves and huge ass pigs, boars and whatsoever. And plus, it's a video game. And the thing is, me, I don't mind it. I enjoyed it. Now, like I said, I do understand, because it does make sense in there of fighting zombies instead of Bigfoot and whatsoever. But then, and also, I wouldn't mind it's called the Desert Streaker. Streaker is one of the it's like the mummy. They're going to change that into an Indian. I mean, that does make sense, and I would like to actually see that, though. But other than that, why must we sit there and just nitpick everything that we see within the video, okay? I mean, yeah, it's there, but that's the Arthur's interpretation. That's the Arthur thoughts and process. Now, it's okay to put your 2 cents in and whatsoever, and it's okay for the author consider the 2 cents and improve it. But once you sit there and start to tell the artist, the author, what to do of their work, it ceased to remain their work. I want to actually do that, as an episode. But anyways, that's about it for this segment of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. If you're just joining me for the first time and you're not a subscriber, make sure you go pick up that subscribe button. And it looks kind of ashy. I need to put some more lotions on it. And also, if you like this video so far, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you comment. Anyways, we'll be right back after these breaks on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Peace. What up, what up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. What up, Sony Blaze here. Welcome to my corner of the universe. Just to let you know, I do other content in the internet, not just content in Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, but also I do broadcast live on Twitch every day for pretty much a good amount of time. So go ahead and join me on twitch.tv/SonyBlaze333. Once again, it's twitch.tv/SonyBlaze333, and it's going to be up in the link's going to be in the description, and the link's going to be somewhere here. Shop at TMMG, the premier Haitian fashion store for all Haitians by Haitians. What up, man? Sony Blaze here. I'd say, man, I like TMMG. You doing a great job. Make sure y'all go ahead and support them. Support them. Get yourself a dashiki shirt or whatever type of fashion sense that you want in there. Anyway, just tell them Sony Blaze sent you. Peace. Hello, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. And it is cold, my hands is freezing, so every like 30 seconds now I gotta switch my hands because I don't got no gloves. But let's get straight to it, and hopefully we find somewhere to go be in. I already know what place I'm going to record in, Chevyville, Plaza, whatever it is. But when it comes down to when it comes to movies, then we're going to wait for a little bit for traffic. And yeah, y'all can see this. It is cold. Let me go ahead and go through the crowd. So, when it comes to movies and why some people just don't sit back and enjoy it, as for me, wherever I go in, I should have said stories, but as for me, when I go into the stories and whatsoever, I usually, when I go into anything that's has to do with any type of media that has to do with stories, that's to be video games, movies, shows, stories, shit, even music videos. I turn off my brain. I shut off my brain. That's it. I go in and just shut off my brain. I just be like, all right, time to sit back and enjoy the ride. And that's how I do it, because as for me, even though I love stories, I love to experience it first. I love, the surprise of it. I don't try to do deep analytics to it or anything like that, because at least for the first run, because I want to sit back and I want to enjoy it for the first time and experience it for the first time. And that's also why I'm starting to not like spoilers. I remember back then, I easily handle spoilers without no problem. But then as One Piece kept on getting deeper, I was like, nah, no spoilers for me, because I've been with One Piece for a while, and now after I seen like the weekly spoilers from the weekly anime. I was like, nah, I'm not into like, or spoilers from people who got the manga a lot earlier. Nah. But anyway, back to the subject though. When it comes down to it, I like shutting my brain off because I don't like thinking too much when it comes to stories. I don't like sitting there doing any heavy lifting when it comes to thought process when I'm digesting the story. Just like food, I just, sit, take it in and then put it in and leave. I know how that sounds, but it is what it is. And that's how I enjoy it. Now, after I sit there and seen it for the first time, enjoy it and whatsoever, then I probably go back, or then I start to discuss about like stuff that I like, didn't like, and whatsoever. I'll watch it again, and that's how it goes. Because when it comes down to it, I like enjoying the story, but then not just enjoying the story, I like communicating and having discussions with the community about the type of media that I got into. So it's very interesting to actually do. But when it comes down to it, especially when I first watch it, now mind you not, every once in a while it does happen. I sit there to start to overanalyze the movies or whatsoever, and I sit there and put my 2 cents in. But when it comes down to it, at least, let's say like 99% of the time, I turn off my brain. So anyways, my hands is freezing, so we'll be right back with a quick one. Welcome, not welcome, welcome back, but anyways, let's continue on the conversation. So, like I said earlier, I mainly just turn off my brain when it comes to getting into stories and whatsoever. So, when it comes to stories and the internet, the internet did make stories great, but also worse at the same time. Let me explain that now, and I'm pretty sure most people will understand it themselves, but when it comes to the internet, everybody got their own opinions. Everybody got one. Just like assholes, everybody got one. And everybody got their way, their version of how the story should go or how it should end. And when it comes down to it, that's just a big issue. That's just a big issue, because why are you sitting there blocking the person who's creating the story for themselves? Now, there are people who's out there. Now, there are people who's out there who's just doing it, for the money, and they need to listen to the people. For a great example, big companies and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about that real soon. But they mainly in it for just, they in it for the money. They in it for the money. And that's all what they there for. And I'm losing track what the fuck I was talking about. I lost track what the hell I was talking about. Yeah, let's go ahead and I'm gonna keep that. There it is. There's my phone. We're gonna keep this in the video, because it lets you know that this is not like some perfect science when it comes to these videos and whatsoever. It's whatever pops up into my head, and then also with the notes that I have written down. I had it. Oh yes, the internet. Oh yeah, so the internet. Sorry for the tangent, but when it comes down to it, the internet didn't make stories great, but everybody got their own opinions, and I was getting towards the businesses and stuff like that. And yeah, they since they're doing it for the money, they allow the people to control it, and that makes it a lot worse, because there's those people who don't care about the story itself, don't care about the art, the artistry, and sit there and just do it on their own, and to make the money, and then listen to everything the people say, so it won't anger them, so they can sit there and make more money off of them. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. No, I'm not saying it's completely wrong to do that. I mean, you go ahead and make your money, boo boo. You go ahead and make your money, boo boo. But what I am saying, like what I'm just discussing, is, it shouldn't be the standard. The standard should be the person who created the art. That's why we have such amazing stories like One Piece and X-Men and Superman, Batman, and all these amazing animes, and not just that, like shows like Power or Empire, or even more. I mean, those are just stuff that I could that's out there, and obviously there's more examples, but if we continue to sit there and allow the internet and the people who's in the internet to dictate the stories, there's always going to be something like we don't want when it comes down to these stories, because a lot of times that's what's going to happen, because the internet has a lot of power when it comes to people, when it comes to people and IPs and stuff like that. The internet can easily make you or break you in one moment, just like that. Like, for instance, these videos of Deep Talk, and there could be one moment I can easily break or make Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. I don't know what's going to be, but we're gonna hope for the best. And with the internet, and with a lot of pull that it got to it, there within the majority, there's more people who rather see the story goes their ways instead of the author's way. And it sucks. Sometimes it's bullshit. Actually, it really is bullshit. And there's a main reason why it's like that for, and we're about to get into it right now after I warm my hands. We'll be right back. What up, man? So we're back again, and I was having a good recording session, and I didn't realize that the recording had stopped. The recording has stopped. Beautiful, but that makes it a very great start to get me prepared for this. So anyways, we was having a conversation about the internet, and how the internet sit there made stories greater and worse and all that. And also, like, one of the proponents of it was big companies. And let's talk about that, though. Let's talk about big companies when it comes to stories and how it affects the stories and whatsoever. See, the main thing is, when it comes to big companies, they ain't in it just to get paid. Straight up, big companies, they're in it to get paid. That's why they're doing the story. So a lot of times, and that's the main individuals who sit there and listen to the people. Now, there's nothing wrong with, like, if you're an artist and whatsoever, it's okay to get some opinions from other people, but you shouldn't allow that to dictate how your content or story actually should go. But the big companies that's out there, they're in it for the bottom dollar. They're in it for the money. So when they're in it for the money, and when they're sitting there and making these stories, they're making sure the stories are like very well made. There's no problem with it. Somebody will come in and try to sit there, shoot the pants off of them, and also, make sure they don't lose money from people sitting there, saying like, we don't like that, or we do like this. But then that's where the problem comes in, because when the people start doing that, like, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like that, the story doesn't it's not great. Well, that's when it's like one of those feedback loops, because then them saying that it's bad and telling them what to do is the reason why the stories are getting worse and worse and worse, because they give them their 2 cents in instead of allowing the people who actually do the art to make their art. And the thing is, like I said before, companies are in it for the bottom dollar. So if it's not making sense, if it's not making dollars, it ain't making sense. So, like for instance, like big companies, they're not going to take risks, like some of these risks that some of these artists takes, because they're like, for instance, like I guess 4Kids TV or something like that. Like if you ever seen 4Kids dub when it comes to One Piece, man, that was beautiful. The way how they actually skip arcs in that fucking dub. I don't know why, but they skip arcs, and it's getting dark pretty quick, so we're gonna have to go. So to get straight to it, so I'm pretty sure the main reason why they did that, because even though yes, it's for kids, and they want to make sure it look nice for the kids, but also in the end of the day, they in it for the they in it for the money. So listen to their parents and whatsoever, they made ridiculous changes. Like for instance, somebody was holding a gun to somebody's head and they put like a toy gun with a hammer on it. Like, what the fuck? That's some crazy shit though. Funny, but some crazy shit. But for that example, for me, for getting towards that example, what I'm just trying to say is, when it comes to big companies and when they do stories, and when stories has those controversial events or plots that change the story a lot, the big companies tend to bend their will, bend their need for those people and be compliant to them so they won't lose money. And like I said, they're in it for the money. They're not in it for the artistry and stuff like that. So we're gonna get those stories that seems very bland, very two-dimensional, no depth to them. Is because those big companies, all they're worried about is the bottom dollar. They're not worried about the actual quality of it. No, they say fuck that. This area looks beautiful here. Whew. But anyways, that's it, man. Also, if you just joining me for the first time, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. I'm about to go ahead and close this off and go home because my hands are freezing. Peace. We'll be right back after these break on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Shop at TMMG, the premier Haitian fashion store for all Haitians by Haitians. What up, man? Sony Blaze here. I'd say, man, TMMG, you doing a great job. Make sure y'all go ahead and support them. Support them. Get yourself a dashiki shirt or whatever type of fashion sense that you want in there. Anyway, just tell them Sony Blaze sent you. Peace. What up, Sony Blaze here. Welcome to my corner of the universe. Just to let you know, I do other content in the internet, not just content in Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, but also I do broadcast live on Twitch every day for pretty much a good amount of time. So go ahead and join me on twitch.tv/SonyBlaze333. Once again, it's twitch.tv/SonyBlaze333. And it's going to be up in the link's going to be in the description, and the link's going to be somewhere here. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today on D Talk with Sony Blaze, we're just getting into the conversation and why can't people just sit back and enjoy the stories? Why can't you just sit back and enjoy, the video games that we playing, man? It doesn't really have to have your 2 cents into it. I mean, just like assholes, everybody got one. I mean, opinion whatsoever. Everybody got their own opinion, but I know I said that incorrectly at first, but anyways, just enjoy it. Just sit back and play your game. Just sit back and watch the movie. Just sit back and just chill. Just chill. But anyways, thank you for joining me back on these breaks. And also, if you're a business, if you're a content creator, if you're just out there and you want to sit to promote your work and whatsoever, please let me know. Just go ahead and put the hashtag. What type of hashtag we're gonna put? Hashtag SBC promote. Yeah. Put no. Yeah. No. Okay. No. Deep Talk promote. There you go. Put hashtag Deep Talk promote down in the bottom if you want to sit there and promote on my platform. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue on what we was talking about. We was talking about how people sitting there just don't enjoy the movies and whatsoever, or wherever they got. But the thing is, stop nitpicking everything about the story, though, man. Stop nitpicking everything about the story. I know that especially, if this is, your style of watching movie and whatsoever, there's a lot of us, we just like I said earlier, we turn off our brains and just sit back and enjoy the story and whatsoever. And then also, like I said before, the internet does make, stories great and whatsoever. But just stop nitpicking everything about the story, man. Just keep calm, man. Just chill out, man. Just chill out, man. We don't need all the information. And also, I do apologize for the sounds that was going on. We don't need all that. All we just need is for us to know the main topic of this, the main topic of the story, who's the main character, and the ending. And the ending, at least at that moment. Now, after all that, once we really, start to argue and debate on the movie and whatsoever, then you can sit there and put it on. But especially when it's about the story and whatsoever, let's just not just leave it alone. Just put it down. I don't care about I don't care if this motherfucker have purple hair right now and he had fucking blue. Who the fuck cares about that? No, I don't want to. I really don't care about that. So anyway, it goes. It's just like that. It's just like that. And also, the thing is too, man, when it comes down to it, because like I said around the beginning when we was getting into this, it's about the author about this. See, the thing is, because also I've been trying to actually get into writing stories and making the games and creating a universe myself. And the thing is about it is, while you sitting there nitpicking and telling all this and that, and also telling the author what to do and actually discrediting the art, now, there's nothing wrong with doing all that. You are your own person. Do how you feel, but please just allow the author to write their stories. You're just a witness to their story. That's all. You're just a witness. You don't have control over the story, because a lot of us, and that's probably problems with censorship and stuff like that. That's actually a good episode. I need to write that. We need to remember that one. Censorship. The problem with censorship. But anyways, censorship. All right, so, and the thing is, we just a witness of their stories and whatsoever, and a lot of times we try to edit it to fit our narrative of how the story should be, or how these games should be, how the movie should run and whatsoever. And why should we do that? The thing is, once you do that, you defeat the whole purpose of the story itself. And because see, the thing is, when it comes down to a story, you're in it for the ride. You're in it for whatever the driver has for us in store. Maybe I won't say just the driver, the tour guide. That's probably much better, because when it comes to the Arthur, he's like a tour guide towards this thing called the universe. He's cultivating. So instead of sitting there and being that backseat driver, sit back and enjoy the scenery. Just sit back and just watch and be like, oh, and let me move this to the side a little bit. There you go. That's much better. So anyways, just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy it, because it ain't gonna last for long anyways. But anyways, in closing, man, when it comes down to it, we just got to just learn how to sit back and fucking just watch stories, read stories, just experience. We just have to just experience it. We don't need to actually go in and try to influence a story or change or sit there and innocently complain about it, because one, the story's already created. We can't really change it. So just sit back and worry about it. And when it comes down to it, that's all we just need to do. And to go over basically what we just talked about, we mainly was just sitting there talking about why people just can't sit back and enjoy it. A lot of us, we nitpick. A lot of us, we sit there and cry about the story, and not sit there and enjoy about it. Just enjoy it. Why must we sit there and analyze the story and not just be surprised? Why must we sit there and try to pay attention to everything that's going on within the scene and everything that's going on with the frame, and just sit back and just enjoy it how it is? And we must stop complaining about every element in the story and just watch it as a whole. Just watch it as is, as the vision, as the author has placed into it. And when it comes down to me, when it comes to that, whenever I sit there and watch a story and actually get into it, at least most of the time, I just turn my brain off. I just turn my brain off. I just sit there, I just watch it. I just sit there and just enjoy it. That's it. That's all you need to do. Just turn your brain off and just flow with it. Just flow with it and just enjoy it. And also, with the internet and the advent of the internet, it made stories great, but at the same time, it made it a lot more worse, because the main thing is because now everybody has these opinions and everybody has a chance to influence the story. Now, there's nothing wrong with influencing, the story and whatsoever, but once it gets too much, that it diverts from the author to you. And what really makes everything a lot worse is big companies, as they are making stories just to get paid. Because a lot of these big companies, that's all they're just doing it for, is for the money. That's it. They just see dollar bills. So they don't care, like, the original authors, what they done. They don't care about the fans or the story itself. All they just worry about is the bottom dollar. That's it. Just worry about the bottom dollar. And the thing is too, you need to learn how to stop nitpicking everything about the story. Just stop nitpicking everything about the story. Just stop worrying about how the dog went through the fucking wall. Just accept that it is that the dog went through the wall, okay? And also allow the author to tell their stories, because that's their story that they created with all the blood, sweat, and tears, and you just a witness to it, and that's it. But anyways, thank you for joining me in my corner of the universe. We made it through, and hopefully this video quality is a lot better. It doesn't look bad when I'm seeing it right here. I mean, I'm like, it looks very nice, and also I did set my computer. I think that's what it was because it was crazy. So anyways, I want to know which one are you? Which type of individual individual you are when it comes to movies, stories, and games. Are you the one who just turn off their brains and go through it? Or you analyze everything? Let me know down in the comments, okay? Right down there. Anyways, thank you for joining me in my corner of the universe. Anyways, once again, if you do want to promote on D-Talk with Sony Blaze, please let me know. Let me know down in the comments. And just put the hashtag D-Talk promote, and we'll talk about something. Anyways, thank you very much for joining me in my corner of the universe once again. Alright, peace. Oh, and before I go, like I said before, I do Twitch as well too. And y'all probably start seeing the ads on Twitch.